Yeah, we will go live on three different platforms. Is it 7 p.m. for you right now?
Yeah.
7 p.m. Yeah, so it's 6 p.m. for me, and for some people in the US, it's 12 p.m. or even less. So let's see how many people are going to join us today from different countries, from different platforms. So let's see that. Can you believe, Maria, it's just 1 month after you did the challenge, after you finished the challenge?
Yeah, I don't know. It's been really fast and really slow. I don't know how to explain that. Slow maybe because like a lot of things, you're kind of learning and it's very juicy and intense.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just
Yes, exactly. Okay, so I definitely have a lot of questions for you, but let me just welcome everybody who is just watching us because I can already see there are some people joining us. They are watching us live. So let us know in the comments where you are calling from, where you are joining from, how you are today, and maybe even a little bit about yourselves. If you are a teacher entrepreneur, and how you are doing, how you are enjoying with your teaching. So anything you want to share with us, but just say hi that you can hear us and see us well. That would be fantastic so that we know with Maria that we are seen and heard, so that we can continue with our nice discussions. Because I prepared quite a few questions for you, Maria, and let's see where these questions take us. But I do believe that the journey you've been through will be really inspiring for a lot of people. Great. So please let us know, everybody, if you can hear us and see us, because so far I cannot see any comments. Yep. Okay. Who is here today with us? Just say the country where you are from, maybe, and how you are, and then we can just take it from there. Okay. So we are already live, Maria, on different platforms. Oh, okay, now I can see Emma. Emma is here. Great, Emma. So people can hear us and see us. Nice to have you here, and nice to, yes, Emma and Katrin is here as well. Katrin from the US. And Emma, anybody else who is here, just say hi to us so that we know with Maria who is actually watching us and that we know how we can even tailor our conversation even more to cover all of your needs and questions. Brandy is here as well. Brandy from Illinois. So great, Brandy. Nice to have you here. And I guess everybody will be curious, Maria, about your journey because you decided to join the 21 Day Teacher Entrepreneur Challenge. But the reason for you joining is what was for you to leverage your teaching skills that you had from before and actually turn them into a profitable niche teaching business. So that was the purpose why you joined the challenge. And I was really amazed because I was in that challenge where you were. I was hosting the challenge, how consistent you were with all your actions.
Mm.
And really, what Maria, I'm just going to give you like highlights of Maria's journey, but we are going to go into more details. And Maria is going to speak about her transformational journey. But basically, what Maria achieved within these 21 days, she defined her perfect niche that is the right combination of her passion and her expertise. Then Maria doubled her income already with the client that she is having right now. She will give you more details about that. How is that possible? And the third thing, and I think this is even the most important one, I would say, Maria has been learning. Of course, it's been just 1 month after you finished the challenge, Maria, and you're working as our one on one client. But in that 1 month, you've been learning the 6 ingredients that are necessary for niche teaching success for any teacher entrepreneur. So we are going to go into more detail there as well. But just for you to know what you can expect from this conversation today, and I'm going to give Maria space to introduce herself. But let me just read a few more comments, and then Maria can just do that. So Clark is saying, watching you from hot and steamy Spain, and I'm looking forward to listening to this journey. Great. Is it hot there where you are in Ukraine, Maria, right now?
No, no, not at the moment. It was hot, but now it's pretty
Okay.
nice.
It's
Yeah.
better. So in Spain it's hot. Hungary, there are people from Hungary, from Spain too. And Katrina, I went through the challenges last year. I believe I've moved back to teaching English online to students through age 18 from teaching adult ESL from Texas, Sultry, Texas. Fantastic. Now we know who is here. Great, Maria. So who you are for people to know a little bit more about yourself.
Sure, sure. So I'm a business English teacher. I have about 13 years of experience. And I'm also a teacher, trainer, author, and speaker from Ukraine, as you already mentioned. And my favorite styles of teaching are TBLT and Dog MLT. And I studied with Scott Thornbury and other amazing professionals. And right now, my main focus is to empower IT professionals to skyrocket their careers with the help of advanced communication skills. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Briefly.
Yeah, that was briefly speaking, Maria. So I know you like to be versatile, but what is really amazing about you, what I really find fascinating, is that you like a little bit of different activities, but at the same time, you are pretty focused on each of those, which is, I guess, the success of why you're doing the way you are doing. Now, we
Thank
know
you.
who you are right now, and you've been through a lot of transformation, and you are going to go through a lot of transformation still. But do you
It's
think?
never ending process, you know.
Yes, it's a work in process, and the whole journey is about it actually. But before you actually joined the 21-day challenge, and before you decided, I want to be a teacher entrepreneur, what was your life like before? When I say life, I mean teaching experience and any kind of conditions that you would love to speak about. About you as a teacher before. What would
Right.
you say here?
Yeah, sure. So before the challenge, basically I had been pursuing two directions, is teaching students and teacher training. And honestly, I really love both of these directions. But, there came a time, like a moment when I needed to choose because it was really too hard to combine both of these directions. And I can say that my teaching students, it was my main source of income. It's like first, I would say, moment. Then um, I would say that I didn't have really a niche with my students. So I would say that I kind of had that with my teacher training, right? But with my like teaching students, I didn't have the niche. I was working for some German company, like freelancing for them. And by the way, I'm still doing that. Like I was like part time, and I would say like that niche was still general, like business English, yeah, like niche. But once again, it's not like niche, it's too broad. So I worked with I don't know, like IT, HR managers and different professionals, and I really love that, really. And at some point I just decided, okay, so basically before the challenge I decided to go with teaching students, like teaching clients
Mhm.
full time. um, and during the challenge, I was able to understand so what how I would like to niche down.
Okay, so basically, before you were not really niche down. You were enjoying what you were doing, but you were not niche down. So, what
Yeah.
were your challenges around this when you were not really niche down? Did you have any challenges around this area being a teacher without a niche?
Right. So first of all, it was more, and it still is, yes, to some extent right now, because I'm still kind of doing, because you're always kind of transferring, yes, like you're changing, you're adapting. So basically, it's more general, it's more like session based, it's not so, I would say, like goal oriented so much. I would say it is still, but I would say not as effective as if you have the program, as right now. Yes, I'm kind of more into that direction. And you can learn really about this very very specific niche, really kind of go deeper and really meet the needs on a like deeper and more profound level, rather than you work with like different professionals and they have different specifics of their jobs and everything. And yeah, so I would say I found that more effective as like what I'm feeling at the moment, right? Like this difference, that you can almost, that are pretty much tangible.
But so you're saying when you didn't have your niche, you didn't have a clear objective with where you were going with your niche. Like you didn't have like a program objective or curriculum objective. You had session by session. But do you think this was a challenge just for you or for your students too? Or how did you think your students perceived this when you just were doing session by session and you didn't have any clear objection with them?
Right. Well, I can't say that I completely didn't have clear objections. Of course I had, right? So we like at the beginning, we always like discussed, why do you need English? So we would always kind of work toward that. But I would say that it was harder for me kind of to establish for them also some kind of system in learning, so it's, yeah, right now with the program, I have a little bit more control in a way. No, I mean, I
Mm.
mean, the program itself is kind of more structured, and I think it's easier right now for students kind of to get some, like into the system of learning, to get into some habits better, and get some results already, and you really kind of pinpoint, some milestones better. So that's what I've kind of learned so far. Because before I did that, but not so much, not so precisely. Yeah.
Okay, so it wasn't like you were completely without a clear objection or objective with what you're doing there with them, but you just didn't couldn't do these milestones even better, or maybe even tailor the sessions so that
Exactly.
you meet that objective or goal by the end of this program. So you mentioned that you were not niche down enough, but what other challenges you experience as a teacher? Because there might be a lot of teachers here who might resonate with a lot of things that you will share. Like for example, I would just mention one of my when I was a teacher myself, one of the very difficult parts was that I wasn't paid what I was worth, being paid. And also there were a few other things that
Mm.
because I wasn't a native English speaker, then they didn't want me in all the schools, language schools. So it was hard for me. So these were kind of my main challenges. But what were your main challenges before you joined the challenge as a teacher?
Okay. Yeah, and I think it also resonates with the question why I want actually to become this teacher entrepreneur. I think it
Okay.
kind of goes
So
together.
why did you do the challenge? Why did you want to become a teacher entrepreneur? It's, I
Yeah,
guess, related to the challenges you had.
exactly. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, because basically it is about the challenge that I wanted to, to, well, kind of go through. Maybe not to avoid, right, but kind of to change it, right? So I've been already on this journey, but once again, yes, I, well, had a lot of challenges, of course, on the way. So first is, I would say, like, it's about freedom to choose
Mm.
your schedule, freedom to choose with whom you would like to work, right?
Mm.
And of course, it's about like freedom of like the content, the curriculum, the program. So you are able to experiment with all these things and choose what is working, and for you and for your students, because when you work for the language schools, not always you have this. I would say I have that in this German company, but there are not so many companies like that, I would say, because sometimes it can be like too restricted and too rigid. Well, the payment, of course, it's, I would say, like one of the pretty important ones, of course.
How much did
And
you used to charge Maria? Just out of curiosity before.
right. So I came to the point when I started to charge $30,
Mhm.
but right now I was able, I would say, like with my new students, to charge $60,
Mhm.
which is inspiring, definitely.
Yeah.
Mm,
So before 30, that was as a general English business coach that you were charging 30 that you said.
yeah.
Okay, so that was pretty even good. But you have some teachers who charge even like they charge like 10 even or maybe 15. I was charging 12.50 for some time myself. So that was pretty good that you managed to come to this hourly rate. So it was the rate you said, it was the freedom or like the money, the freedom, anything else that was the reason why you decided to become an entrepreneur?
Right. Of course, it's about discrimination of being a non-native speaker. Of course, if you start working for different companies, once again, it really depends, like on the company and so on. But well, there are a lot of cases of this discrimination, unfortunately, still in our industry. And honestly, I had this, I would say, experience when I came to Canada. So I've been living in Canada for 1 year. And before going there, I had these dreams and illusions, and kind of Canada crashed them completely. I mean, it's a great country and everything, but I thought that, okay, it's such a wealthy country. And if I go there and if I apply for some language schools and so on, it will be like really I would say like really um good, I would say like good payments and everything. But when I came, I kind of didn't consider so much also, oh my god, the cost of living.
Mhm.
Which was like just, I don't know, $2,000 for 1 month in a tiny bedroom, one bedroom apartment. So it became such a picture. And of course, I'm talking right now about Toronto. It's like it's one hell of an expensive city, I would say. Yes, and I kind of saw such a picture that basically to work there and to be able to live by myself, because I was lucky I lived with my sister, but yeah, so yeah, but
Mhm.
on my own, it would be just like working for food and for apartments. That's all. Like,
Basically, you had to pay a lot of money, or like for you to live there, you had pretty good income to kind of even survive there, or at least some kind of enjoy there. But not necessarily you were paid that much to cover all these bills, or even extra to really enjoy your life. So,
yeah,
mhm,
yeah. So basically, that's what because I talked to different teachers and so on, and yeah, and you kind of always see that teachers are very often on this edge of like survival. And yeah, I've been there too, definitely, and from
mhm,
time to time I'm
yes,
there as well,
yes,
and yeah, and it just made me so heartbroken in a way at that point, because teaching is like an amazing profession, like I wouldn't trade it for any other profession, honestly. I came back actually to teaching after acting.
mhm,
I did like a little bit. I tried, but like saw what it's like from the inside, and then no, no, no.
it's
Like teaching is aligned, yeah, with my values, with like, yeah, I just love that. But yeah, but there are like a lot of moments that lead to a lot of burnout, I would say. It's like, I would say, underpaid, undervalued, and so on. It's like one of those, yeah, and
okay.
some mindset things also.
Basically, you wanted to have a better pay, you wanted to feel more empowered, to have
Yeah,
even more impact on other people's lives, and you wanted to have more freedom, as you said, like in the students you choose, the curriculum you teach, or even where you teach from and how you teach. So, all of these things. Uh, that was the reason why you became a niche teacher entrepreneur and why you joined the 21-day teacher entrepreneur challenge. Now, after you joined this challenge and after you were following all these tasks, because I know you are really, really consistent with all the actions we ask you to do, what has been your biggest, maybe, I would say, takeaway, progress, or aha moment, or your biggest transformation after doing the 21-day challenge? You can be even like general, but then you can be maybe even more tangible, what you've achieved when you
right.
shifted that mindset from being a freelancer to being an entrepreneur. And of course, the process takes time. So you just started your journey
I'm still on my way.
fresh. Yes, you're quite fresh. So what has been the biggest transformation for you?
Right. Well, I definitely saw that it was definitely possible for me to double my income like
Mhm.
pretty easily, I would say. And I can see that I definitely can, go further, and yeah, and it's inspiring because if I can, I would say, like, raise my income, I can take less students and I can give them much better service. I can, yeah, give them kind of VIP service, from like different directions, and really get better results,
Mhm.
and to also enjoy my life, with my close people and so on. And yeah, it makes complete sense to me, I would say. So that was kind of my big takeaway, that yes, I can do it.
So basically, you were kind of earning the highest before was 30, let's say, an average, right? Before was 30, and now you charge 60, if I
Yes.
understand correctly. Okay. So why do
Yeah.
you think it was easy? Or like why didn't you charge 60 before in a way? Why do you think it was kind of pretty easy? You seem to be very relaxed about this price now. So what do you think it was easy about it?
I think I would say I worked on my mindset, like,
Mhm.
really. Of course, it's one of the like the most important things, when you work on your mindset and you work with these inner obstacles, because really nothing stands like basically on my way even to charge 100, like seemingly, right? But there is something in me, oh no, no. So I need to get there in terms of the mindset, first of all, because
Okay.
I have the expertise, I have all this like tools. Of course I need kind of to know my niche better and like do like different things better, and yeah, and more, and practice everything. But still, I think the main thing that stands kind of on your way of charging more, it's, I think, mindset. It's like one of the things, and of course some skills and
Yeah.
everything
So, so
there.
basically, you were able to charge more because you felt that you have even more maybe clarity how you can bring results to your clients, and maybe that gave you confidence as well. And you realized that if we have any limits, our limitation is mainly in our mind. We limit ourselves with whatever is possible. But usually, like the more service we bring to people, the more clarity, the more effectiveness we bring to people's lives, or the faster results we bring to people's lives, the more money we get,
Of course.
because the money is just a tool. But now it's a very good question that Clark asked as well. And I guess that might be related to you as well, doubling your income. So Clark is asking, Maria, would you say that you found your niche intellectually or intuitively? For, okay, intellectually, instinctively. Okay, yes. So,
Yes, yes.
yeah,
I think
how did you
both.
find your niche?
You can just go just with intellect, yeah, I
Mhm.
just like this niche, this is good. Not really, no. I have worked with IT guys, for example, for, I don't know, for all my professional, I would say, like teaching career. And usually I had most of my students, they were from IT. So I kind of felt the some kind of connection with them. I like their spirit. They're innovative. They're usually, kind of forward thinkers, and they like, I don't know, like different things that I like, and they are detail oriented, and that's also resonating with me. And I kind of felt that I know them, kind of to some extent. Of course, I would like to know them more, but yeah, and yeah, so I think first it was intuitively, and then I just intellectually kind of made like wrapped it up. I would say, okay, so IT, like, okay, and then I just like went deeper. And also about your question, like the previous one, yes, it is about the mindset that helped me, and of course everything else, just like all these pieces of the puzzle, for example, even creating the program, create like really digging deeper into the pain points, really understanding, and how I can address, how I can respond to those needs of those people. And the more I got to know about them, the more I got into like the um, details of the program and everything. So when I kind of started to put it into places, of course, I felt more confident, in the way that's okay, I can help, and that's how I can do it. And when I met with those people, yeah, so I was able kind of to convey that, and yeah, and they, I would say, like, trusted me, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, the way you sound now, Maria, it would be hard for me not to choose to work with you if I was an IT professional, because I do believe that the energy we have around the niche we choose, it's very, very important. And I can see it from you. So, as we say, like when you choose your niche, there should be three questions answered, or three questions you should ask yourself. Am I passionate about this niche? Like, does this niche
Yeah.
mean a lot to me? I can see it from you. And I think even your sister is from your niche, and you
Yes.
very good conversation on LinkedIn. So I could see like you really are there for your niche. It's very visible, like for me. That's the one thing. Another one is how much experience you have with your niche, or how much you are willing to learn about your niche. So there are quite a few teachers, a lot of teachers who don't have experience with their niche, but they are
Mm.
willing to learn. I was one of those. I didn't have a lot of experience working with psychologists, but I learned right before when I was a teacher entrepreneur. So that's the second one. But you already have a lot of experience with IT professionals in
Mm.
general. Of course, you are still learning about them, and you will be learning, but that was good for you. And the third one is how much need there is for what I do. So
Mm.
you can pick the best niche, but there is not that much need. Like not many people really need that. There is not much need. Then it's harder for you to sustain that business. So I guess when you ask these three questions, and in your case, Maria, you do seem very passionate about your niche. You do have experience with your niche, and you are still even willing to learn more about them. And there is definitely need for what you offer in your niche.
I remembered one thing about like the third point. I
Yeah.
was on subway in Canada, and like this TTC system, and I remember they have this advertisement for TTC, for all the subway system transportation, and on that poster there was, I would say, their advertisement, and it was said, "Be essential," and I was just like, you know what? That's what I want to be. I want to be essential. And with IT guys, I feel essential for them, because without this, and I talked to my sister even like when I was in Canada about this, and we actually have a lot of friends who are IT guys, and without English, it's really hard for them to really progress in their careers, and to get, I would say, better payment, get a job opportunities, and well, get a better work life balance. I'm pretty passionate about that, to help people to achieve that.
Yeah, so you know what you're doing right now, Maria? The way you sound, like when you say to be essential, you are totally sold on your services, on your own program that you've created. And then people feel it from you. So when sometimes teachers sell programs or services to other clients, they
Mm,
are a little bit like doubting, like doubtful, like will it work? Is it good enough? Can I really
mm,
double my income? Can I charge 60 per hour doing that? And if you don't believe it yourself that actually it's essential, and in a way you are sold on your own program, it's going to be hard to sell it to others. Now you've already had, how many clients have you had in this two, in this actually 1 month after the challenge, Maria? Or like how
yes.
many kind of clients in the pipeline are you having? Because I know some of them haven't finished the payment, so how is
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. So I have two who already, like, we have started with
Okay.
two, and two are, I would say, like, on their way.
Right there. Okay, but you're helping them, nurturing them, helping them with the payment methods, how they can pay. So two already you have started with them and you're
Yeah.
onboarding them in a way, and two of them are really like very interested and they are almost your clients, but still not there just yet. Now, how many strategy sessions have you had, Maria, so far in this 1 month, approximately?
Seven, as far
Seven
as I remember.
sessions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
So
six.
why, Maria? Seven. So there are some teacher entrepreneurs who don't even get seven strategy sessions in a maybe 3 months. The
Mm,
reason why it is so, and people just ask like, why somebody can get strategy sessions, somebody not, because you do believe it's essential. It's
mm,
essential for them to buy or to have your services, for you to provide the services to them, and because it's essential, you radiate that energy and you attract people into your strategy sessions. Of course, you follow the methods in the direct messages, what you do and whatever filters you follow, but you attract that because you believe it's essential. You have like total trust in what you do in your program, and that's developing, of course, but already like right now you're very confident about what you have, and it's still work in progress, right?
yeah.
um,
Sure. I also wanted to mention one thing that helps me. I've seen it in somebody's stories of my colleagues, because I'm like following the. Honestly, I don't remember where exactly, but I
yes.
remembered um, like some words from that. It's very important to see yourself as an opportunity for others. So whenever I approach, I'm like about to connect with people and so on, and I just like, take a moment and just think of myself as an opportunity with my, I don't know, set of skills, with my, I don't know, like personality as well, right? um and yeah, and I just go with that like attitude to people, and just like to see myself as an opportunity for them, right, and for us to work together and to create something amazing, to create some new opportunity for them. Yeah, maybe some, I don't know, new life turn.
Yes, exactly. And it matters really a lot because even if you have the best sales script to follow, like we have good sales script on Bobby, like in our training, but not everybody gets the same results because sometimes some teachers go to that session, strategy session, what we call it, the sales session, with this attitude: Am I worth being, paid so much, this and this money, or do I have the best program for them, or do I actually, or can I actually make difference in their life? So if you question yourself, that will be felt in that strategy session. But what you say, Maria, you think about, okay, I'm the opportunity for them to maybe improve their lives, even like this much. and or whatever much, however much, I am here for them to improve their lives because I am there. And I think who was here who said me, yes, mindset is the key, definitely, Emma. You can raise your prices, but if you don't believe you deserve that, it will affect you. That's
Right.
exactly. So I think it would be hard for Maria to charge $60 per hour just 1 month after finishing the challenge, if she didn't believe she deserves that money, that her program actually can make a difference, and she will do whatever is necessary to do for your clients to get that result. So
Yeah, and actually there are even more of these things, when you also go to people and you really truly want to help them first, like, and put everything else. Yeah, of course money is important, for sure, yes, and everything else is important, yeah, all these ingredients. But you just like keep in mind that you're here to listen and you're here just to help. And I remember even during this challenge you were also like talking about this, and I really loved that. And yeah, so this is, I would say, one of the most important thing. And I wanted to mention something else, but I forgot. Okay, if I remember, I will just, yeah.
that's okay. That's okay. We still have half an hour, so you can have. I just want to read through a few comments because Getty is also saying, I love that mindset is not about hard sales, it's about offering opportunities for them.
Mm.
Definitely. I definitely agree with that. And there are a few questions about your niche actually in comments. Clarity is saying, so yes, you went with your feeling first of all and knew you would be motivated and comfortable with these kinds of students. And then you intellectually probably told, or your intellect probably told you it was a good idea. So it was
Yeah,
a combination of your
yeah,
intellect and your intuition that
yeah.
yeah.
This is like, yeah, this is a very good description, and thank you so much. Yes.
Yeah, so this is good. And we have two more questions about your niche, Maria, because people are interested. Actually, Katie is asking, I'd love to hear more about how you networked with your community to do market research. So
Mm.
that's a similar question as well to Emma later. Interested to hear more about how your students find you or how you find your students. Are you on social media or do you contact companies directly? Very good questions from both Katie and Emma. What would you say here, Maria?
Oh, I tried so like already like a few things. So, first of all, I have already some IT guys. So I asked them, I would say, kind of to spread the word and like how to do the market research. So I talked with them like really deeply, like I asked a lot of questions. Then when I uh, so right now I'm on LinkedIn. So I like did the profile, did all this like ingredients, I would say, and I started to search for people from my niche. Yes, I'm like software engineers because I worked with software engineers, for example, and yeah, so I just like started with the people like who I know. I mean, like from that I would say profession, for example. Yes, because they are like different. Professions even in IT, right? And yeah, some of them, for example, I contacted, right? Just like sent my invitations. Yes, then I contacted them and just like told them about what I do and that we can have some like strategy session together. And when I got those strategy sessions, I used those opportunities to know more about them and to ask, I would say, lots and lots of questions to understand their needs better. So on the base of that information, I was able, of course,
Mm.
to well to for example to do the program and so on. Also I searched in Google for companies, and then I found these people on LinkedIn, and I also like contacted them, and I use like different things because, for example, I contacted one person. He said, you know what, I don't really need, for example, services, but I know there are some people who actually can use your services, and he shared with me like lots of contacts. So I contacted these people, this person he shared your contact. So yeah, so I was trying to make it not completely cold, right, but to make it more like warm, so I know this like person, or I read, for example, what they wrote, and I engage with what they wrote because, well, oh my God, that's really fascinating. What sometimes they're posting, and yeah, I can sometimes can't stop myself, just going into this rabbit hole, like oh my God, yeah, because sometimes it's something like really insightful, and I like this things because and I even read always, not only about teaching, but I read about like different things, and I always can find some ideas that are on the edge, of like different, I would say,
Mhm.
technologies, or yeah. And it was bringing me some ideas even for my teaching, some kind of analogies, so I was like so of course I would contact them genuinely. Oh my god, you wrote such an interesting article or something. So yeah, and I would comment and we would engage in a little bit of conversation, so it becomes not completely like a cold, just hello.
This would be Maria with new people, right? Because from what you're saying, you leverage your existing network because you work with IT professionals just on a little bit different, maybe angle, or maybe from different angle, and also you use the companies that you find people through companies. But then when you made comments on your niche's post, was it mainly via LinkedIn, or where you were mainly commenting?
Yeah, I am using basically right now LinkedIn, uh yeah, as for my, I would say, like all this marketing,
Okay.
promotions and so on. Yes, for my content creation, yeah, so I'm
Mhm.
using, this is my primary social media.
Yes. So,
Mhm.
so I hope, Katie, your question was answered, and Emma as well. So how Maria is looking for clients? So she's using the like her previous connections that she even invited them to strategy sessions, which is great. And she's also using the company pages or the companies on Google, and then finding people who work in those companies on LinkedIn to connect with them, and then through messages, I guess you work on sales in a way. You follow up with them and you pre-qualify them before they come to your strategy session, those of them who are ready. And I guess, is there anything else or any other way how you are looking for your clients, Maria, or how to help you to look for clients?
Right. So I would like to, this is because I tried, some strategies like for some time, just like to see how it works and how I feel about that. Because, sometimes something feels more like me, sound like me, and like looks good. Some, okay, looks like, or this feels a little bit off, and you're like, okay, I'm not using that, I'm using this. And what I would like to try, it's of course to follow maybe some more influencers and
Mhm.
speakers in my field, and of course like engage in some comments, so kind of become more visible. And hopefully, that's what I did with teacher training. I basically did a lot of, oh my god, how many talks, webinars, presentations, and all that stuff. So all the time I was like exposing before some audience. And I think it makes total sense to me, so I would like kind of to search for this influencer. So like offer, I would say, to speak in front of their audience, because they already trust this speaker, and they, when they invite you, they can automatically start trusting you, and if they like you, so it's easier, I think, to connect, and so it becomes kind of warm connection in a way.
But this is so true, and I'm so happy you're saying that, Maria, because there was one teacher entrepreneur actually who asked me today, what makes, in a way, it was not exactly this question, but something like this: what makes a teacher entrepreneur, like or what can make a teacher entrepreneur a successful one, or how can a teacher entrepreneur become a successful one with their niche teaching business and with their office? And what I answered was that, of course, you have to go through stages, and the very first stage is to define your niche
Mhm.
and find your niche clients, and still keep improving your program, get a few clients, maybe at least three clients following the same niche from the same program, so that you get this business foundation, the proof of concept, what we call. And
Mm.
for that, you need to have one-on-one clients, because that's how you can best, um, hear feedback and improve things. And even some people get like even more than three clients, like even 10 clients, where they already feel, okay, I can scale. Because a lot of teachers find it difficult to sustain their business even after they do the 21-day challenge, just doing one-on-one. Why is it so? Because, well, Maria, now you are charging 600, but I can already see you charging 100 very soon per hour, like 1,000 for 10 weeks, because your mindset is definitely there and you can do that. But there won't be all the people ready to work with you one on one, because it is a higher investment and not everybody is ready to invest this much.
I
So,
remember
do it. Yeah.
just, yeah, sorry. Yes, yes,
No,
yes.
no. Yeah, yeah. Say it.
Sorry, yeah, like I was trying to remember this moment.
No, say it again. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sorry, is that because this is what was really important for me, that when I charged this high, and when I actually started to even talk to them, and we kind of moved into like the area of like the price and everything, and I felt really comfortable with that. And I felt that they become, at some point they're like, oh, okay, so yeah, this is like the price, so I got to be really kind of committed, and I
Mhm.
really got to do the work, so I kind of, this like little shift, so it's like, you're kind of more relaxed if it is just like $10 per hour, and but when it is like 60 or 100, you make sure that you use this opportunity. And yeah, of course, like not everybody can do that, yeah, but there is this tendency, and I just felt that they kind of became kind of more committed. So I think this is a very good service for students as well.
Yes, definitely. So they are more committed when they pay more, but still not everybody. So let's say you speak to 10 people, and out of 10 people, three will be ready to pay you 10,000. Oh, so 10,000, maybe not right now, but 1,000, let's, or even 600 for now, because that's what you are charging. But there will be many people who will want something a little bit cheaper, but still work on their English as IT professionals. So once you have your business foundation, which many teachers either skip or don't realize it's important to have, and follow really the same habits for you to get this consistency in just having one-on-one sessions, then you need to scale. And you can scale different ways, right? You can have the group sessions, you can have a digital program where it's much cheaper, is low ticket offers. So digital program can be anything lower than 100. Group program, let's say, can be 400, right, for 10 sessions, like if you are in a group session. So you will diversify your offer, which means it's going to be much easier for more people to work with you. And that's that's how you can get, right, how you can sustain your business. But Maria is just at the beginning of her journey in a way as an entrepreneur. So she doesn't have group program or digital courses, but she's very, very good at founding, or like at building her business foundation really. And the more confident you are about business foundation, the easier will be for you to scale or to do anything with your business. And I guess, Maria, based on this challenge, because that was the question from, was it from Catherine? Yes. So what important thing did you learn in the challenge? And also I would like to add to this, are
Hmm.
there any habits, any routine you learned that you're implementing right now every day, so that you've already had 7 strategy sessions and already 2 clients who paid, who are onboarded, and 2 in the pipeline? So, what kind of habits, or what are you following that you learned in the challenge that brought you
Right,
to?
right. Yeah, so there are certain habits, of course, and they kind of all are about connecting, right? Connecting with your niche. And once again, here you can experiment how you would like to connect with them, right? So you can like use different ways. Then you nurture them, right? So you create some valuable content, you try to help them already with some I don't know, pieces of advice here and there. So no, nurturing this is something that is still challenging for me, because I had a pause with social media, at all. And yeah, and right now as I came back, so I'm like posting not so frequently. It's, I think right now it's just like once per week, but once again I'm still consistent, right? So I thought, okay, once per week, but I'm consistent, and then I can kind of make it more. And it makes sense to kind of to to be visible, to be in front of them, to give them, some ideas, so they're kind of building, this trust. And yeah, maybe something unlocks inside of them. Sometimes when you just like read just one idea, and it just like something like, oh, you know you know
Yes. Yeah, and actually, Maria, what you're showing, basically, you are pretty much ahead of our training course even, because what we suggest is that you do one habit at a time, but because you're very
yeah,
active and you want to do things faster, you already are adopting more habits at a time. So what you mentioned, you're connecting with people, and there is certain, like there are habits that you need to do to connect with people every day. Although not everybody says yes to you like this, to your program, then you
yeah,
nurture them, as you said, in the direct messages. And what you add, or like you took on as well, or you added to your habits, is that you post. So this is amazing. And the thing would be, if you were posting every day, Maria, it would be very easy for you to get overwhelmed. And that's what, because you ask me very good question very often, like every day, like, is this too much? Am I just going to overwhelm myself, or is it effective the way I do it? So you're
yeah,
already exploring those other habits you need to do. But for some teachers, if you want to adopt all these habits at the same time, connect with people, nurture them, then posts so that they can see you're active there or even comment on their posts. And all this would be maybe tricky. So that's why many teachers either do everything at the same time and then they feel overwhelmed, or even one thing is they do it for a month or two, but when it doesn't work, they think they should stop doing the habits. So,
Mm.
what do you think about this mindset, Maria, when people don't get results after 1 month or 2 months, and they quit doing all the habits?
I always remember this analogy when our students come to us, right? I think it happened to all of us. And they are, for example, pre-intermediate level. Yeah. And they come and they like, you know what? I want advanced right now. Or like or like I want to be intermediate, at least intermediate right now.
Okay, yes, I do get a few teachers who want to be entrepreneurs tomorrow, just tomorrow's ready entrepreneurs.
I
Yes.
mean, in our culture of instant gratification, this what happens even like on subconsciously we kind of want results and we want them now. And we are the same, just like as our teach and our students come and we like explain, what to get from this, and that you actually need kind of to do some consistent work, and and not always you can see that those results like immediately. So it's like learning the language. Right now you remember the new word and oh, the new word kind of escape. You practice and then again you remember this word. Why is it different for us as being entrepreneurs? It is the same. Oh, right now I'm like, oh my god, I wrote such an amazing post. And then you like wrote some post and like, oh my god. Exactly, like, oh my god.
I, so basically, this instant gratification for me, that's the mindset of a freelancer. A freelancer is someone who does the job and gets pretty much paid or result or rewarded straight away.
Mhm.
So you teach English, even like you were a freelancer before, right? You were teaching English to IT professionals and you got money straight away, or like you did a session, you got the money. As an entrepreneur, you need to connect with people, you need to nurture them, you need to post, you need to be improving yourselves. All of that you do pretty much for free at that moment, right? So that's
Mhm.
hard. That's why we recommend like maybe have another job, until you feel really confident you can replace, but it's not like that, like you get results straight away, but it's investment on return on
Mhm.
investment, the other way around, with
Mhm.
time, right? So maybe you connect with 100 people this week or 400 people this month, and next month you will get two clients, not this month. And that's what many teacher entrepreneurs don't realize. So they still are teachers but not entrepreneurs, that I want results straight away, and if it doesn't work straight away, I'm giving up on it, or like I'm quitting. It was not the right niche. It was not working for me. I'm not meant to be doing it. And that's the mindset. So I'm really happy, Maria, the analogy you gave us about the language learners. It's so similar to being entrepreneur.
I just felt it like that
Yes.
because I also felt, the same so many times. I wanted to give up,
Mhm.
different, even freelancing and so on, because you get to such points, you get desperate and everything. But yeah, but this analogy helped me a lot. I even like I remember I started like little gardening because it helped me, to learn patience, that actually you need to nurture your little plants, and it takes
Yeah.
time. You can't force the natural process, right? You need to give space and you need to give some time, for that. And it is the same with us.
So true. You have to do you think you have to see something that is not there. So you see yourself having clients, although you don't have any, and you have to be loyal to that faithful idea that you have, like I will have clients, which is not easy, and we have to acknowledge it. And there are a few comments here as well from, for example, Emma. She's saying that yes, you really do reach some highly committed students once you charge higher. That's so true. Yes. The more you charge, the more committed people you get. I just remember when I paid 10,000 to one of my coaches that was leading me, I was so committed. That was pretty much the almost the only money I had in my bank account that I had to withdraw, and I knew I would get my return on investment. But I was working. I really watched the recordings 3 times, not just once, 3 times, because I knew I was paying a lot and I was committed. And so that's definitely true. Now, one thing here is, and there are a few more questions. But Maria, what would you say to everyone who hasn't done the challenge just yet and they are just deciding, shall I do it? Shall I not do it? Is it for me?
Mhm.
Is it not for me? So, how would you encourage them in that moment of decision? I mean, you can relate maybe to how it was for you, but how would you encourage people?
Yeah. You know what? I like this state of curiosity very
Mhm.
much. It helps me when I get stuck. Actually, in like all my situations, it helps me. So I think that what can be is like to be curious. It doesn't mean that, okay, this is the only strategy that will work or not work. No, just like it's about experimenting, it's about being curious and see what happens and try it out, and just like give it a shot. So that was, I would say, my mindset at that time.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
liked how structured it was, and it is. I mean, the challenge, right? It was helpful to me, and like to see like different ideas, to like to see the perspective, and to try out some things, to understand what works for me, what doesn't. Yeah, so I think this kind of thing. And also one thing that I remembered about when people tell us no, and this happens, well, pretty quick frequently. I mean, like about students, right? I just remembered from learning English, Andrew, he told such a thing that kind of stayed with me, that you know what, you want people to tell you no, because then it becomes like really easy for you to understand who are your people. And for example, because your services are not for everyone, especially if you're niching down, and you kind of need to understand that. And then it becomes like easier for you to handle such situations. You actually want them, okay, yeah, thank you very much, so I understand that, yeah, I just need to work with some other people.
So true. It's like the more no's you get at the beginning, and if you don't get discouraged, then you're showing an entrepreneurial mindset that not everybody has to say yes. And this no is
Maybe
not
it's not priority, at the moment, which is fine.
exactly. But if they are going to be your priority at some point, they will be on your system somehow, or you will still catch up with them, or they will see you nurturing later. One thing is that you said you were curious. This is a very good approach. And we have especially one coach on our Bowie team who just does everything out of curiosity. And she's very successful. She just said, out of curiosity, I was born during the COVID. And now she's charging like pretty good money and having a pretty good life, pretty fun life, I would say, just out of curiosity. My story was a little bit different, Maria. I was curious as well, but it wasn't the main reason. I was in so much pain as a teacher, like being underpaid, undervalued, even discriminated against, that I said, I cannot go worse. Like I cannot lose anything. And I just felt like it was really hard for me to be a teacher, and I loved teaching. And I knew that I cannot lose anything. Like, if anything, I can just
Mm,
explore what there is for me. But then I realized, okay, so when James said like, oh, you can charge 100 per hour, it was hard for me to believe. And even later, now I'm 3 years in my entrepreneurship journey, and I can say it's not easy either. So okay, it was difficult to be a teacher, and I was really suffering a lot as a teacher, although I like teaching, but it's difficult to be an entrepreneur as well. And I always say to people, you always need to pick your heart. So like,
mm,
it's hard to be a teacher, it's hard to be an entrepreneur. Pick your heart. I still would again and again choose to be an entrepreneur because it's just much more, fun and maybe excitement and
mhm.
curiosity and freedom to be an entrepreneur. But I really appreciate what you shared with us, Maria, about this curiosity. So, for all of those of you who are watching us and you don't know if you should join the 21 Day Challenge or not, just use your curiosity. Maybe just become curious what it would be like to become an entrepreneur. And it's 21 days. You will find quite a lot. Like, if it's for you or not. And I guess Maria, for you, it was the same, right? So, like, after these 21 days, you knew that you want to be an entrepreneur.
I knew before.
Before, yeah, yeah, yes, you knew before, yes. So that's
But I
yeah.
can relate to your experience, because I was in a lot of pain, I would say too. And well, I still am, I would say, so, like on this edge of survival sometimes. And also, it's, yeah, there are like a lot of reasons to that. Yes. So, like financial, also one of those. And yeah, like to be in a safe space to kind of to afford that. because, well, I'm in Ukraine, and sometimes, I kind of need to go to some, I would say, like, even like before taking this challenge, I hadn't slept for 23 nights because of all this attacks and everything. So it was like I was like starting the challenge not in a good place. So I literally went to another city in Ukraine,
Yeah.
and yeah, and I booked a hotel. So I was able to do the challenge, to work, and to sleep. Yeah.
I
So
I remember that, Maria, and I really admire that even more about your commitment and consistency that you had during the challenge. You were not in the best conditions, to take the challenge, but you were still taking step by step. And even if when you are behind, you were catching up very quickly. And I want to really encourage everyone to explore what it is possible for you. And Maria discovered that for herself. And I think I shared the wrong link, so I'm going to share the right one for the 21-day challenge for those of you who are still thinking about joining or maybe not sure if you want to join. And just a reminder, this is the last month we do in August, that we have it at this price. And the price we can offer to you today, because you are watching us live, is a 35% discount, which will be for 127 for the 21-day challenge. And the prices are going to be higher from September and October. So we are going to get you 297. That will be the price for 21-day challenge from September and from October. So this is the last chance in August. We are starting on 1st of August. So if you make the decision before the 1st of August and if you enroll in our 21-day challenge, you can have it at this price, which I think is a very good price. What do you think, Maria? Like, would you do it? Would you do it again?
for sure.
I would for sure do it again. Let me just share links, Maria, with everyone so that if people still don't have our link and would love to join the 21-day challenge and get the results or similar results as you did, this is the chance for everyone to do it now in August. And anything else you would share with anyone here to encourage them on either their already entrepreneurial journey or on them kind of exploring to be entrepreneurs. And in the
Mm.
meantime, I want to ask everybody to share with us your biggest key takeaway from our discussion, from our interview with Maria. What did you take away from what Maria shared with us? So, yes, Maria.
Yeah.
Uh,
I would say that I like to think about it as a marathon, not as a sprint.
mm,
And it helps to allocate my resources, to make pauses, not to, like rush, because sometimes, I get like a little bit too involved, and I understand, no, 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 no. Okay, so I worked. I'm like, I try to kind of to keep it more like structured and disciplined, so I, for example, I started to wake up like consistently at 6 a.m. so I can do like the most of my work like in the beginning of the day, so this kind of thing. And yeah, so like it's not a sprint, it's a marathon, and it's nice kind of to enjoy every step of the journey and kind of to be curious, how it unfolds, because sometimes it can take some, interesting turns. Maybe it comes also from the style of teaching that I am doing. It's like Dogme LT. It's about like emergent, like working with what emerges during the language. So I'm also using it even in the program. So yeah, I have the structure, but there is also freedom within the structure, and I work with everything that emerges. So it's quite flexible, and I believe that such a flexible approach in your mindset, it's also pretty good idea.
yeah, so as you said, this is so important, Maria. uh, Take it as a marathon, not a sprint, so you don't get your business built in 1 week or not even 1 month or not even in 1 year. It's a journey, but
Mhm.
as long as you're curious to stay on this journey, as long as you have some kind of clarity and object or like goal where you want to get, but at the same time be flexible and curious about all these peculiarities of your journey, you will be doing well. And I can see here from yes, from I'm not quite sure G. While my journey has been quite different, I would definitely recommend the 21-day challenge. Even in the completely different path I've taken, I still refer back to all that I learned. I appreciate that very, very much. So this is a very good point. Sometimes even what I say to teachers who are deciding if they should take the 21-day challenge is that The worst thing that can happen if you take the 21-day challenge is that you will come back to your class empowered. So that's the worst thing that can happen. And it's not that bad, I guess. It's not such a bad scenario, right? Because when you did the 21-day challenge, that's how I felt myself, by the way, by just reading James's ebook, which was a kind of shorter version of 21-day challenge, like just written in a few pages. I was able to double my income. So I was charging 12.50 before, and I was charging 30 just by reading the ebook. I felt my confidence was boosted, and because I was having more niche thoughts, although I didn't have a niche, I doubled my income. So I guess I felt empowered just by that, and
Mm.
um, right, just doing the ebook. And then of course I even say like my life before 20 Monday challenge and after. So I'm happy that you had very similar. Katrina, of course, Katrina. Thank you, Katrina.
Yeah, thank
And
you.
Ken, wonderful to hear about your journey, Maria. I love your advice to be curious, experimental, and flexible, inspiring. Yes,
Thank you.
definitely. If you haven't taken the challenge and you are deciding to take it, just I would love to encourage you so that you can have similar results to Maria, and you can become an institutional entrepreneur. If you've taken challenge already, but you feel like you don't have consistent results, or maybe you give up in a way, or you just quit doing anything, maybe I would even encourage you to rejoin the challenge. That's possible as well. It's much cheaper for you than when you want to rejoin the challenge again, at a lower rate. And or maybe even if you don't want to join the challenge, just go back to what you learned in the challenge and be consistent with it. Even though you're not getting results today, just stay consistent and take it as a marathon. And
Mhm.
just Clark is sharing, I would like to add that what you learn in the 21-day challenge is completely transferable to so many other fields. What you learn will be just as relevant in marketing and other service or product. So true. Definitely the skills we teach there are transferable, to any industry or to any parts of your life, areas of your life, but we do focus on teacher entrepreneurs mainly. And yes, thank you so much, everyone, for being here. And Brandy as well. Very grateful. Yes, exactly. If we don't have, it's great to hear that we don't have to make miracles in a day, but they will happen with consistency. So true.
So true. So true. Yeah.
Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. And Maria, I really appreciate you that you found the time and that in your busy schedule, getting so many
My
such clients, and you came here to empower other teachers, to become teachers.
pleasure.
I
Yeah,
appreciate
thank you so
it.
much. It's always very much inspiring. As I told you, I love both directions, like talking to teachers and talking and like working with students. So I really appreciate, and it also empowers me, like sharing something that I've learned and also my challenges, and setbacks, because all of this happens, all of this for sure. And we are all in this together, and we don't feel alone in all of this. I think it's really, really important. So thank you so much, everyone.
Yes, Maria. There is one question, Maria. You don't have to stay, if because I know you are very busy. If you can, that's great. I just want to answer very quickly Jason's question. But I'm aware we are over time, Maria. So sorry about that. I would like to get to know more about this one system or program, the 21-day challenge. You sent me the link about this one system. Okay. I guess you mean you want to know more about the 21-day challenge, Jason, right? Is that correct? Like what it is about and why people should join it?
Mm-hmm.
Just let me know. I think that's the question. So the 21-day challenge takes 21 days, and every day we release a video that you need to watch and implement. It's not just watching and gathering more knowledge. It's about really have the knowledge and implement it straight away, day by day. So you have one practical video every day. You follow it, you implement, and that's how you define your niche, identify their pain points, then create the program that actually covers that pain points, or like relates to those pain points, so that solves the pain points. Then when you have the program, you learn how to position yourself on social media. We mainly focus on LinkedIn, but we have other social media like Facebook, Instagram, and even Clubhouse. You position yourself there for your niche so that they resonate with what you share, with what you offer. Once you position yourself there, then you can market yourself, you can send them messages, follow up with them. We teach you all of this that I'm just sharing with you. Then we teach you as well in the 21-day challenge how to sell with confidence, and how to at least double your income as Maria did. And even some people even triple. I tripled my income when I joined the 21-day challenge, uh, but I was charging 12.50, so right, I was charging much less, but I tripled my income. So we teach you how to in a way triple your mindset and then like triple your income. Pretty much that's what we teach you. And then in the third week, we teach you how to think like in the future, like what is kind of like the potential paths for you. Okay, so that's what we do in 21-day challenge, and you have the foundation of your business set in 21 days. So that's why it's a challenge, because it's intense. It's not meant to be easy, and I guess Maria, you would agree it was not easy,
For
right?
sure.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
exactly.
I started also like 4 days later, so I was like constantly kind of
Yes.
catching up,
And I
but
would say 1 to 2 hours should be enough. Maria, did you spend more than 1 to 2 hours every day? I did spend more, for example, myself, but because I just wanted to spend more, I spent 3 to 4 hours every day.
yeah, I spend, I would say, like 3 to 4. Yeah.
Yeah, but many teachers say 1 to 2 hours, but well, whatever you have. And after 21 days, you have your niche defined, your program, hypothetical program ready, that you will be getting, the real kind of feedback from your clients, potential future clients, and you can sell it. So that's what we teach you in 21 days. And that's what Maria will start in 21 days. And that's how she got her 2 clients and 2 more in the pipeline 1 month after finishing the challenge. And she had at least 7 strategy sessions from what I've heard from Maria. So Jason, I hope this is useful. If you have more questions, please, contact me directly on LinkedIn. I think you can see my name, I guess. Steffi. Okay, maybe I have to put my full name. For you, okay, but you can find me on yes, on LinkedIn. That's fine. Thank you so much, Maria, and I hope that was helpful for Jason, for everyone else. Have a beautiful day. Bye. 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 Bye.
Bye bye, everyone.